Hey everybody, it's Brock and we got a brand new episode of All About. It's been a minute since I got footage of a tang, but boy do we finally find a good one. This is the Unicorn Tang, specifically the blue spine Unicorn Tang. There's another one with pretty much the same care guide that they usually just call the blue unicorn. They vary a little bit different in looks, but both are awesome. Absolute beauties in the tank. By adulthood, they get huge, reaching lengths 2 feet long in the wild. You'll want a pretty large tank for one of these by the end. Known for the horn above their eyes, it's where they get their name. You'll begin to notice this horn starting to stick out around 6 inches of length of the fish. Before that, it's pretty flat, nothing really shows up. From the one videoed, you can see it's just now starting to peek out, but look online, that horn can really start to stand out as they get older. It's not known what the horn is actually used for, if anything other than appearances. Most tangs also have a retractable blade on each side of their back tail fin, but the unicorns' modified scales on the back actually have 2 fixed blades on each side. So they'll use these for defense against predators and also warding off fish that get near their territory or feeding grounds. It's also a big deal whenever catching these and putting them into your tank. You want to be very careful not to get hit yourself or getting caught up in the net. Jumping right into the facts, prices for Unicorn Tang typically hover around $200 just for a juvenile. Getting an adult will cost you more. Most places were out of stock of the fish online, which they are native to Hawaii. That's where they get a lot of them, and so their bans that they do throughout the year play a big role on how available they are around the year. The size of a unicorn tang plays a vital role in what size aquarium you need. Reaching lengths of 2 feet long would require a 400-gallon tank to adequately house the tang and give them plenty of room to swim around. They are a very active swimmer, as you can see in the video. He's all over the place. A lot of times people will get a tank and put a juvenile in it and eventually upgrade as the fish gets larger. So for juvenile unicorn tangs, most of the time they're going to come in around 2 to 6 inches in length, which will do well in 150 or larger. Now, a typical tank setup would be a nice sand bed with lots of live rock. Build some caves, big arches for the tang to swim through during the day, and also have places to hide at night. They're going to be grazing all day long along those rocks, so give them plenty of stuff to chew on. Care level, I would put them at moderate, mainly just because of feeding. Some people have had trouble getting them to eat at the beginning, and also they just need a few more things to eat on. Having natural algae like hair algae is great when first introducing them into the tank. That is something they eat in the wild, and they're going to love to eat it while they acclimate to their new environment. Also keep a variety of foods like frozen cubes. They got mysis, spirulina, brine, a whole bunch of different things you can get that you can thaw out and feed them. Flakes and pellets are good too. If the unicorn is still too stingy to eat, try some more live foods. If he's a meaty eater, sometimes they get real into the meaty foods in a tank setting. Feeder shrimp could be a really good one to try to entice them. Also, if you want to use some other kind of algae, maybe you want to put some macroalgae in there. Sometimes they'll chew on that stuff too. So anything just to try to get them to eat. Temper, I'd say semi-aggressive. I always like to say tangs will become the kings and queens of their aquarium. They'll be very territorial over newcomers and still territorial to fish that are already there. Even if they were there before them, they get near their feeding spots or places that they like to stay around and hide. They'll get very territorial over those fish that come in their way. Reef compatibility is a definite yes. It's what they're used to. It's what they thrive in. You should have no issues with them picking on your corals. If anything, algae that grows around the base of the coral, they'll definitely go for that, but you shouldn't have any issues with them actually eating your corals. Temperature, you want to keep it around 72 to 78 degrees, DKH 8 to 12, pH 8.1 to 8.4, and your salinity 1.020 to 1.025. Everything's basic there for your tank. Also keep up with other levels like ammonia, nitrates, and phosphates. You do not want one of those to spike with a fish in there. Spikes can cause stress and lead to more issues that you really want to steer clear from. The colors on the fish are going to be mostly gray with blue highlights around the fins. Super pretty, really stands out. Compatibility, always a strong choice to make. Pretty rare occurrence you'll be able to mix 2 unicorns in a tank together. You'll really only ever see that in an aquarium or in the wild. but you can mix them with other tangs. My go-to is to always try and add them at the same time and also get different body shapes. Helps with a lot to keep the aggression down and just kind of helps them not realize, oh, you're a tang too? Well, let's fight. The oval shape of the unicorn is similar to ones like a orange shoulder and a Vlamingi tang, so I wouldn't mix those, but you would have good luck if you tried to mix things like yellow tangs, Tomini tangs, even powder browns that have a different body shape. Those would be really good choices. Other fish they do well with are angels, gobies, clowns, wrasse. Really any fish you see in a reef is really good for them. Some very large ones even do really well in predator tanks with puffers and groupers. So they hold their own, they're strong in the tank, and they won't be bothered by that. Main thing is just to watch out for them being too aggressive with your other tank mates. Maybe you have some smaller wrasse or gobies that are hiding all the time. Make sure he's not beating up on them. And another thing to try to look out for is diseases or parasites your tang might run into. Tangs have that smooth skin that allows things to easily attack them. Other things like ick, fin rot, flukes are all very likely to be seen during a tang's life. One of the best preventatives is to treat them in copper before actually adding them to your tank. Now, a lot of live fish stores will actually do this for you. We always did it at our shop. Always helped out for customers to have a clean tang going into their tank. If they do still get one of these while they're in the display reef, there's a lot of good medicine out there you can get them, like Metroplex and Canoplex is a good one you can mix in their food. Freshwater dips is really powerful against flukes. UV sterilizers help overall health of the water, and those can really keep those bad things away. And just make sure you do some research. Watch some videos on what to look out for, because the faster you start treating it, the easier it'll be to beat whatever he actually got. And that's all I got for us today. You know, I like to keep it high level, keep it short and sweet for you. That way you can be watching this video before you buy the fish and give you a pretty good idea if you can have them in your tank or not. Hope everyone had a great time watching this new episode of All About. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more videos about marine life. If you have any experience with these tangs, please leave your opinions down below. The more we learn together, the better we'll be in this hobby. Be safe, stay kind, and I'll see y'all later.